Just do it!
I'm recording this live on Twitch, so you might see some other things pop up here. Okay guys, we just got 3 huge updates, and they actually go a very long way to convincing us that Line Games is trying. If you saw the rants that I did earlier, you will understand that I was very, very, very disappointed with Chapter 11, the direction they're going in the game, how hard everything was getting. And though I'm still very mad at those things, I will say that this game went from a 4 out of 10 to a 7 out of 10 if you're currently playing the game, just because of these 3 events. These 3 events make the game worthwhile to play, at least for the next week to the next month, and then we'll see where it goes from there. But I'm pretty happy with these. Let's start here with the Choice fatecore system. This is actually redoing about 2 months worth of banners for the first Guardians, and in that rant that I posted, I said one of the biggest issues that I had was it was forcing new players to go into the string of creation and do the first Guardians. But since they've made this week accessible to you can choose any first Guardian you want to make it the banner, it's actually incredibly important that new players take advantage of this. This is huge, and it's important for old players to go after specifics that they don't have. If you're a new player or a returning player and you do not have FC Rara, this is an absolute must do, okay? Rara is one of the best units in the game, if not the best, and she is a must-have for PvE. And you could even say PvP still. But with this, one of the major things is that she's not available currently in String of Creation. And if you go down just a little bit, you'll see that it's actually cheaper to pity her here than it would be in String of Creation, by a significant margin. In String of Creation, you're going to have to spend about 35,000 Zess to be guaranteed to get a Rara, or in the best case scenario for First Guard in String of Creation is FC Xeon and Anastasia. At 28 rolls, that's only about 19,000 Zest that you need. Not only that, you can then turn around and do things like FC Anastasia, FC Baelish, FC Maggie. Now, for those of you that don't know, the order at which you should do this in is probably about this. You should probably look at FC Rara first. Not even probably, you have to do that. FC Rara is by far the most important unit you could roll for in the game, and it is amazing that we get another attempt at her. Past that, I'll leave it up to you if you want to decide on FC Xeon or FC Anastasia. I think with the pity rate at 19, you should definitely go for Anastasia. Anastasia offers quite a bit in terms of dungeons, PvP, and PvE, but FC Xeon, up until all of Chapter 10, can solo clear the entire game. So he definitely has his place in all of this, but he's not as good as FC Anastasia in the long run. I would only choose one of those 2 if you're going to go for a second unit, and then I would actually recommend that you go for FC Baelish or FC Ramji, because you do need that dark first Guardians for the future, and you do need that damage over time that someone like FC Baelish brings you. I have 3 FC Baelishes, and I really enjoy him. Up until the FC Leppen banner, he was the thing I was core sharing. He's incredibly strong. He didn't find a place in my PvP team, but only because I'm overtuned anyways. And then FC Maggie would be who I recommend after that. If you guys don't know, there's someone very close to our chat and our Discord named Wise Warrior 3, and his FC Maggie is ridiculous. It can basically solo my entire PvP team just by itself. FC Maggie isn't something that people typically tell you to go after, but if you can get her to 6 stars and you can give her good gear, she's a very good unit too, and she's fire. So you can go between these 2 right here. Choose between Xeon and Maggie if you wanted, and then I would basically tell you should go after Rara and Anastasia if you can do it. But at these core mileages here, it basically removes the barrier of SOC for new beginners, so you should definitely look into doing this. But this is just one of 3 updates that they're sending our way. The second of which is the celebration event. Now, the celebration event is really helping us with some of the things that I was pretty pissed off about, right? So not only are they giving us 77 units for free, which is 11 times free recruits, but each day they're giving us additional things as well. This event starts today, September 2nd, and goes all the way to October 1st, so you just have to sign in 7 days between that period, and you are guaranteed to get all of these things. The first day you sign in is 200 Zest. Not good, not bad. We're thankful for that. 200 Zest on top of the free stuff they give us. That's pretty good. Day 2 is 300 gold. 300,000 gold, actually. And that is even better than 200 Zest, I would say, because with 300,000 gold, that's 3 chances to roll on Fated Guardian Stones in the Door of Creation, and that can make a ton of difference for you. Not to mention gold is one of the harder things to come across in the game. So 300,000 gold is always a good thing. Then day 3, they more than double the ante of day 1 and they give you 500 zest. So between the 2 days, you're getting another 11x roll. And then day 4 is when it really gets good. A lot of people cannot get Holy Waters of the Universe for whatever reason. I have an abundance of them, but people to this day still complain that they're not getting Holy Waters of the Universe. So getting 2 is basically guaranteeing you that you will have a 6-star unit once you get it to the appropriate conditions, which is super useful for just about everyone. There's nothing wrong with getting more 6 stars. Day 5 and day 6, they're kind of lackluster. Basically, you can get a unit to level 70 with 70 basic stones, and then you can get a couple of abrasives. I mean, I'm not going to complain about abrasives. More abrasives is always a good thing, but it's not really like they're giving us a ton. But, you know, it's a nice thing to just hand out to me. Now, for the last day, we're getting Neomi Fated. I'm really excited about this. Hey, Kez, thanks for the subscription, my dude. So, the last day, day 7, is Neomi. Neomi is a good hero by herself, but she is very, very much important for Dorka. Why is she important for Dorka? Maybe many people don't recognize this, and I didn't at first either. I actually had to search for the scout system. But you can go get Dorka with your Neomi if you already have a Neomi. You can come into the scout system, and as you can see, you are required to have a Neomi. So if I put my Neomi in here, it creates this checkbox, and I get 500 of the 9,500 points needed to get a free Dorka. That's huge, actually, because all of these commons and rares that I can throw at this don't really give me anything. She gives me 500, they gave me 23, and there's no legendaries and bronze sets, so it's actually very hard to get her. So getting the 500 points is huge. If you have multiple of her in Kylok, it gets even better. So it gets you one step closer to getting a free Dork. I already have a Neomi, so I'm going to be using my extra one to add to this Dorka, and I was already pissed the other day that I took my second Neomi and put it into Neomi to transcend her. As you can see here, she's 77 plus 1, that means transcended. And frankly, yeah, I would have rather used her on Dorka. I would rather the 1,000 points than her plus 1ing her, but we'll just leave that for another time. So getting a free Dorka potentially is really huge out of all of this. And on top of that, make sure that you're saving those 77 heroes that they're giving you to put into scouting systems. I take back the advice that I give new people of transcending everything in the game to +5. I know that's something that I've said often. I no longer suggest you do that. Keep one of everything in the game and then throw everything else in the game at these generals. Like, seriously, get all the generals to +5. It is so much more valuable to have your Garf and your Bathory and your Janae and your Shafrakan and your Dorka and your Rudley, getting all of them to +5 and potentially level 100 one day than it would be to have a 80 +5 common units. Why was it so valuable before? Because a lot of the raids and guilds actually were looking for you to have a lot of those commons to flesh it out. So this is the area where a lot of people actually recommend you to take your commons and your uncommons and make them 4 stars at minimum and get them above level 40. And as you can see, I don't have enough light heroes to fill out this roster, but I took something like this rare unit right here and made him a 4-star, so I get to actually add him to this here. Now, I'm going to tell you some advice that your guild leader is going to hate, or your air squad leader is going to hate. Screw this guy. If you can get more of this girl and this guy, yeah, you just screw this guy. Get rid of him. Get rid of them. It is so much more valuable to have that Garf super extended than to fill out this roster here. Don't worry about +5ing everything. You can still get those guys up to 40s and whatnot just through normal evolution. You don't need to worry about getting the most out of them physically possible. So don't worry about transcending all of those units anymore. But the last thing that we're going to look at is actually something even cooler, in my opinion. This changes everything. This Exos Pass Season 3 Open is such a big deal. So if you don't know what the Exo Pass is, it's been around for 2 to 3 months at this point, and essentially there's a free version of it and then a paid version of it. The paid version is always $30. And the free version, you can go through the whole thing. You would get 2 Holy Waters of the Universe, you would get some extra passes, you would get extra gold, you'd get extra zest, you would get extra abrasives, and then at the end you get a random fated piece of armor. But now they've changed the rewards significantly. For the free people, you can get a rank 1 fated helmet crafting ticket, which is incredibly useful. I don't even have a legendary rank 1 yet, so having a rank 1 fated would be great. So that, as a free-to-play player, makes doing these Exos passes worthwhile. Other than the first month, I've completely ignored the Exos Pass. I just take what it gives me. I don't sit there and take any time out of my day to try to do all of the tasks. It just wasn't worth it. And after the first month, I never paid for the Exos Pass again, because getting that extra random fated weapon just simply was not worth $30. But you know what is worth $30? This Premium Pass Final Reward, which is a special fated hero selection ticket. And if for those of you that don't know what it is, you can come here to this accumulated purchase event and we can see exactly what it is. It allows you to check one of Garth, Rachel, Bathory, Shafrakin, Janae, or Dorka. Now, getting one of those units for $30 is ridiculous. You want to know why? Because right here they're giving you one for $300. And if you don't think that's bad, they're also saying that they're valuing it. The Nation Pack's getting you to select someone like Dorka at $300. So they're offering you something of $300 value for $30, and then they're giving you a bunch of extra things. So it is incredibly valuable to go do the season pass. If you can extend it for $30, that makes it incredibly worth doing. And now it's also worth doing if you're free to play. With all of these changes, it actually makes this game playable again, in my opinion, and worth coming back to. I was on the brink of giving up this game for Genshin Impact and other things, but now I at least think I can stick through it another month and potentially through Chapter 12. I still have a lot of issues with PvP and PvE, but if this is the direction that they're going to be giving us things, then I'm pretty excited about the future of this game. And I think that's a good thing based off how I was just yesterday.